I gotta find it.
Okay.
I did it on my phone because I didn't have a chance to put it on my laptop, so it might not be formatted correctly. So that might look a little weird, but I can go back and fix it. It looks a little.
You want me to make you? Want me to give you the mic?
Yeah. 1 second. Like I said, I'm on my phone, so it might be a little difficult.
Well, I tell you what. Why don't you just read it to us and present it? Do it orally.
Oh, okay. Let me go to the view website view. Or not, doesn't matter. Okay, so I did mine on the title of my article was Carolina Panthers COVID woes. And I'll read it. The Carolina Panthers have just announced that they will not seat fans at the remainder of the season via the Carolina Panthers Instagram. The Carolina Panthers released a statement on the team's website. Despite our best efforts, we are deeply disappointed to share that you will not be with us at Bank of America Stadium on September 13th when we open the season against Las Vegas. Panthers fan Daniel Bacombe stated in comments via Instagram that safety first and we understand. Another fan named Joanne Mellis stated, I'll be there in spirit. It's not the same, but it's the right thing to do right now. Fans have expressed their frustrations through the comments of social media accounts associated with their favorite teams. With a total, according to CDC, there are roughly between 300,000 COVID-19 cases between the state of North Carolina and South Carolina. It is in the team's best interest that they will not allow fans in the stands. I need to go back and tweet that again.
I want to know, where are your quotes? Who'd you talk to about this?
Daniel. Hold on, I gotta find his name.
I might have. Do you have quotes in here?
Yeah, Daniel Bacombe.
Okay.
And Joanne Mellis. And then another stat I put in was the CDC. I didn't put the exact number, but between the state of the states of North and South Carolina, they've had roughly about 300,000 cases.
Wow.
And I put in that it was in the best interest of the team that they do not seat fans during the season.
And that was a quote from somebody that it was the best interest of the team?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That was, like there's a whole article.
Or somebody you got on the internet? Or is that a Twitter thing?
That was on their website.
Okay. I just really want to encourage you, actually, just that kind of push you out there to start getting hold of people, talking to people, okay? That's going to be...
I can probably, what I'm going to try to do next time if I talk about the Panthers, I'm probably going to either comment on their Instagram because they respond to a lot of their comments, or if I don't do that, I'll probably just DM them. They might be able to get in contact with me, but I'm not sure yet.
I'm cool with that. I just want a direct quote from them.
Right.
Now, this next project from the next blog, you're going to be writing a profile, sports profile about somebody, and you're going to write maybe a little anecdote about them, but you're going to tell us a little more about them. So you're going to have to go find an actual person to talk to.
Okay.
I'm going to show you real quick. SCSU has the athletics department, and it gives all their phone numbers and emails. So you may just reach out to people and email them, and then do like a little profile on them, and that's going to be your assignment for next week.
All right. Anything else I need to do before I head back to work?
No, that's cool. We're just going to sit here talk sports. You're going
to
be in class.
All right. I'll see you next Monday, Ms. Cat, okay?
All right. I'll miss you. Talk to you later.
All right.
Renata, how you doing today, dear?
I'm good. It's been up all day. Running around. I'm gonna go to work later.
You said you're at work?
I said no, I gotta go to work later.
Okay, all right. Put your video on so we can see you. Danny, put your video on. Let's show up. Show up. Mr. Jalen Hart. You looking mighty fine in that picture.
I guess.
How you feeling today? Who else we got? Mr. Sean Blue, put your picture on. Let's see who you are today. How you doing?
I'm straight. I'm trying to finish these waffles up real quick.
I know she don't got this Wilson.
Okay, all right. Hey,
Rep
I
your
would,
school.
you don't have to worry about how you look in this class. Here I am, hair all balled up. Honey, I still got some pajamas on, okay? we all in the comfort zone here. All right. Demetrius, you all right today? Let's just see your ceiling fan.
Yes, ma'am. I'm pretty good.
All right, you're awful quiet. Daryl, you doing all right? Mr. Sean Blue? All right. So does anybody, all right, so here's the objective today. All right, so one, I apologize. I invited Mr. Kendrick Lewis today, who is the media coordinator of the sports, the Bulldogs. And he sent me an email back, a really nice, lovely email. And he informed me that, the school is dead set serious on playing football in the spring. So I don't know what that's going to look like, but boy, that's a good interview. And he said, so what that means to him is that he is in tons of Zoom meetings in his department, and they're all talking, and that he couldn't come right at this time because it overlapped into a meeting that he had to go to.
Okay, so I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, is there any news of us coming back?
Jalen, I really don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know if they're going to play, I mean, I'm confused with that statement. I'm confused with that statement because we got some teams that are trying to play, right? College sports. Am I correct me if I am wrong? That are trying to play college sports. So we have a lot to interview him about. It's like we're going to have him here, and you're going to write an article about our conversation, and you're going to interview him. You can interview him extensively. He said he's apologized, last couple times he couldn't make it. But he said he was really, I was like, wow. He said he was really looking forward to talking to our class. And that, that he was really looking forward to it. He said he was really sorry he couldn't make it. So, he's going to be a great guest now. So that's one thing. So today what I want to do for the next assignment is I want you to write a profile. I want you to go find somebody in sports. It could be bowling, swimming. I don't care. It could be the luge. I don't know, anything, but an athlete. And I want you to, does everybody know how to write a profile story?
Mm-hmm.
Raise your hand if you're not too sure how to write it. You start out writing some kind of anecdote, like, Magic Johnson, when he was 4 years old, made his first shot. You tell some anecdote type of story, and then you talk about his career and stuff like that. So that's going to be our next assignment. You're going to write a profile story, okay? Danny, are you here? Yeah, Danny, you're here. I couldn't see you, dear. All right. Danny, you're really familiar with writing profile stories, right? You're awful quiet today, dear.
I am.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I'm so happy to have you guys here because it kind of makes the day. All right, so that's one of the things. So today, if you haven't presented your article, present your article. We're going to, brainstorm. I have a bunch of articles to show. We're going to talk a lot of sports. And then at the end, if you would like, we mentioned doing a sports show type of thing. And I could, bring Mr. Smith in, maybe something for BNN or maybe something independent that we air, say like on Facebook or something like that. We Airstream. I figured the last part of the class, if you want to, we can brainstorm, collaborate on that. And I will facilitate whatever it is that you guys come up with. Okay, so that's my agenda today. Cool? All right. All right, first on the agenda is, who has an article to present? Or either one they have written or one they want to share? Okay, so nobody has anything to share today? Anything? Nothing? Nada? Not prepared?
No.
Nothing? Nada? All right.
I think
Well,
everybody
I'm gonna,
went.
huh?
I think everybody went on Tuesday.
All right, but you should be bringing things to class to present that you are media savvy individuals who are always looking out in the news. You're always looking at the what's going on in the sports world, and you always have some interesting article to bring with you. So you know that.
Well, Miss Cat, what I was gonna one thing even how you were saying how um some some football teams are gonna have a spring season and then other football teams. So right now the SEC and the I want to say the ACC, those are the only two conferences that plan on having a season. And I'm pretty sure the Big 12 too. But
Mhm.
one thing that I did see is that when they start having games, they're gonna put the games on pay-per-view. So people are going to have to pay an extra just to watch the games. And a lot of people are upset about that because you're paying extra money and these are student athletes. So where is the money going? It's
Right.
not going to the athletes who are actually playing, who are actually involved in what's going on. So how does that like who's really benefiting from this right now? So that's something very interesting that I've seen lately.
Well, that's something I would love to see you investigate. Like I said, I'm going to show you the page. There's a page where you can like email every single one. That is excellent. Let's see.
Kayla, is that just for the Big 12?
I'm not sure yet. They just said that for the first game that's gonna, because season start next week. The
Mm-hmm.
first game that's gonna be broadcast is gonna be on pay-per-view. I haven't seen anybody saying that it's gonna be like this for all games, but it's kind of looking like that.
Okay.
Because I know for a fact that USC and Tennessee is on primetime on the SEC network when they start back.
Okay.
It might be because of the TV deals, knowing that you have the NBA playoffs and tennis and college football going back, and of course the NFL is coming back too. They're all running simultaneously because around this time you would see the NFL and college football going on around this time, then the NBA comes. So with this whole
I mean, that's understandable, but at the same time, you're asking people to pay an additional $30 to $35.
right. And I think that's like what we talked about this off camera. I think it's dumb to put it on pay-per-view.
I think that's an
Me
excellent
personally.
topic. And if you could find somebody, just see who you could find to ask that question to. Right here, can you see my screen? I'm sharing the screen.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna get the I'll put this up in chat. But this is something where you guys should be digging into right here, because like email them probably, because a lot of them aren't
Oh,
in
got
their
it.
office to answer their phone. But here you've got everybody. You got Buddy Pugh right here. I tried to get a hold of him, I couldn't. But send them an email, and this is all the staff at the sports. This guy, I try to get a hold of him. He writes for the Orangeburg sports newspaper, Bill Hamilton. If we could get him as a guest, I'll write him, see if I can get him on. But Bill Hamilton is just like, he's a historian, so he's walking textbook. I mean, he can probably tell you all the way back into sports, back when the school started. And I think he was a coach also, some kind of coach. So he would be just absolutely excellent. He would be a great profile article. Write him. But let me give you the address for that. And I'm sure here's the address. I put that up in chat where to find that. Jalen, you okay today? Okay. So that's an excellent topic. Like, raise your hand if you believe that they're actually college sports is gonna play in the spring. If you really believe that's gonna happen,
It's going to happen. So many conferences have already made a spring schedule for them to have a football season in the spring. But now how it's going to flip around, I don't know, because you can't have 2 seasons of a full contact sport.
So,
I agree.
So
I agree.
well, if they can't play it now safely, how are they going to do that in the spring?
I heard that they were gonna cut games.
I think they're gonna cut it short so that they can make it to where it can fall back onto the regular schedule, because we don't know how long the virus is gonna be here.
That's true.
So
but they only playing 6 to 8 games. They're only playing a 6 to 8 game schedule, but at the same time, you got to think if it ends in May, right? I'm talking about like full contact now. That's
yeah,
ending in May, and then you're coming back and you're doing the same thing starting in July.
yeah, and they got to go right back to spring. What
And
camp?
that spring camp, and then you got summer camp. Well, you're gonna skip spring camp because you're gonna be playing the season. So then you're gonna be playing summer. Well, you're gonna be in like summer camp pretty much.
Right.
And then you're talking about playing a full season.
Yeah.
And that's not. And then you also got to think about the players who are trying to get drafted. The NFL draft. So you're gonna play in May.
That's
and
why
then
some of these
get
players are
drafted and
foregoing.
go to-
But that's why some of these players are foregoing the season and not playing, so that they can get as much time as they can to prepare for the draft. Now,
That's understandable.
I do applaud the NCAA giving them an extra year to prepare for their senior season. Like, for example, Justin Fields, he got the option to forego the draft and come back for another season. I would do that than just opt out and prepare for the draft, because scouts don't have that film to see, okay, is this a player that we want for our system, or what? Or is there any other player that can fit in our system? Now, it is kind of weird to have a split down the middle of 2 conferences not playing versus 3 conferences playing. It's kind of skeptical. If one conference is not going to play, then all conferences should not play, in my honest opinion. But it's about money. It's about the money.
And like I said, I still can't imagine how they're going to play sports in the spring, because I don't see anything changing. I mean, when COVID started, it was supposed to be like for a few months, and now here we are. We're what, 6-7 months into this now, and nothing's changed really.
Then it's going to interfere with the March Madness, because
don't get me wrong, I'm not out there wilding.
Yeah. All right, let me see. What's the other thing? So, all right. So while I'm like dinking around in between, it's a good time for you to jump in and find something that you want to show. So that's a good way to, All right. You know what I'm saying? Good way to fake me out and go, oh yeah, Kat, I had an article all the time, the whole time. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I tell people that because that's the kind of student I was. All right, here we go. All right, can you see, this is one I found is in the Times and Democrat. I thought was kind of interesting. So there are schools that are playing, it looks like. Opener with the Vols, the Tennessee Vols, will be tonight. They'll open their 2020 season. And like I said, are you familiar with James Madison University? They went face-to-face classes, and they have at least 100 cases of COVID right now, and the city of Harrisonburg is really upset about it, that they brought the students back. So I don't know what the implication of this is. So the South Carolina Gamecocks, it says, will open 2020 season under the Williams-Brice Stadium lights against the Tennessee Volunteers on Saturday, September 26th. The Southeastern Conference announced Tuesday. So that's your lead. The game is at 7:30. The game is 7:30, and the game will be televised on the SEC network. So that's pretty much the whole article. So the first Carolina's first road trip of the season will come the following week when the Gamecock, I can't talk. They travel to the Swamp in Gainesville to face the Florida Gators on Saturday, October 3rd. So it doesn't look like they're playing that many games. Third game against. All right. So that's basically, they're just talking about this, the SEC football league. The Southeast Conference is playing. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy here. Let's see. Spring Care Shop started. Let me go grab my other one here. Okay. Well, here was. Did I show you this one? I'm not sure. Let me see if I showed you this one. This is SC State. What can I do without Bulldog games for the fall? Now, this is Bill Hamilton, the historian coach that I showed you, that I would love us to have an interview with. He writes sports articles for the paper. And his address, his school address, is in that page that I shared. It's in the chat. So this is a good one to read. Since Kevin, let me see if there's anything. Road game. Many memories. Anyway, this is a longer article. This is a really good one to read, but so this would make a really, really, really good profile article to write, feature type profile article to write about him, because I mean, you know, he's probably in his 60s, maybe 70, probably retired. And football included. So he could definitely tell you a lot on that story. Do you want to go over this article, or do you want me to keep going? Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, next one. Anybody got something they want to share, discuss, topic? Got to wake you guys up. We need. If I were teaching elementary school, I'd be like, okay, class, we got to get up and get our wigglies out. 1 and 2, okay, now sit back down. All right, the pen and pad. I got to know how to write a sport. Okay, wait a minute. Clemson. So my next article is about Clemson. That's our second top article. Clemson is playing football. Are they in face-to-face classes too?
Yes.
Yeah, every school except us in classroom, and maybe Voorhees.
Okay. Well, at least we're.
Y'all see the cases go up?
Huh? What, say that again?
I saw the cases go up.
Probably. I thank God. Thank goodness. At least we're staying safe. Tigers
Yeah.
at night on ABC. That's a nice picture. So the Atlantic Coast Conference and its television partners have announced the game times and networks for the first 2 weeks in the 2020 season. Also included are the times and networks for 4 other ACC contests later this season and Notre Dame's games against ACC opponents. Okay, so they're kind of giving you the schedule, what time. So there's a lot of games that are coming up. You may want to cover those. Charlotte at North Carolina, Virginia at Virginia Tech, the Citadel against Clemson. So I'm assuming they're not going to have an audience. This is old. Trevor Lawrence did consider option.
Okay.
All right. So nobody's covering any real games right now. Okay. All right. And then let me see what else do I have. All right. All right. So the next thing I have is. Okay. So any comments, thoughts? All right, so brainstorm. So what kind of article would you, let's brainstorm what kind of article you could write for your next thing coming up. Somebody pitch something out. Jalen, pitch, you're always good to pitch something out. Pitch something, pitch a ball.
Which Miss Cat, you want the article, what I'm about to write?
Your next article is going to be about sports. I'm trying to get you woke up here. You're okay.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
My next article will probably be about since they are going to play, since college football is going to start next week. I'll probably talk about more about the pay-per-view, see how that's going to go. Is that going to be something new? Our other teams and schools are going to do that as well. So that's pretty much what I'll write about, and just pretty much seeing how college football is going to start.
Can you catch somebody that's on at state here that could talk to you a little bit about that?
I can send out emails. So
you'll have an easy time getting somebody to talk to you about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, you may want to go grab some of these head coaches, like the Panthers or Clemson or,
Yes, ma'am.
What I would do, what I have found from my experience is unless you got a connection, you usually can't get the head coach because they're too busy. But if you get the guy under him who probably knows, a lot of times those guys know more and give you a better interview than the head coach will sometimes. Like you get the assistant, you get the trainer. They know all this too. So they can give you a great interview too.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Cat, I'm sorry, but I have to leave class.
Okay, you're fine. That's all we're doing today. We're just we're collaborating and and I have
yes, ma'am.
Check out the recording, so you're good.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Don't miss it next week. We gotta have special guests.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yeah. All right, Courtney. So brainstorm. What are some things that you might think about doing for next week?
I'm sorry, Miss Cat. Can you say it again?
Yeah. Who are some people that you might think would make a great story for next week? Do you have a favorite sport? Do you like? Are you into sports, or are you like me?
No, not really. I just go to the games. That's it.
I got you. Well, you've heard me say I'm not that into sports, but I do holler for the dollar, and I do know how to shoot sports.
I don't know.
So
it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because since we're not in class, our school is not really doing sports. It's kind of hard for us to kind of come at the angle and come with a different, other than talking about COVID and sports and how we're not playing sports this year. So I don't know.
We're getting creative. And so that's why I gave you that whole list of down. It's in the sports chat here of all the team, the athletes, and to do a profile because that gets us around covering a game that we're doing a story profile about the person. Okay, so I'm going to show right now. I'm going to share a screen, and I got this cool little article about writing sports profiles. So I thought this was interesting. I thought this article was kind of interesting about how to write a sports profile. And I like their statement. It's a good hook. It says, oftentimes athletes and coaches are among the most interesting people that a journalist will get to profile. They're quirky, unique, and sometimes oddly mannered. So, yeah, I don't know. It makes me think of somebody like Dennis Rodman or somebody, that was unique. To truly write a great sports profile, you need to get inside the head of your subject. Here are some good ways to make your story come to life. Find out about your subject off the field, the court. And in order to understand anyone as an athlete, you have to understand them as a person first. So the ingredients for a good interview is research them and find out as much as you can. Maybe they collect, Maseratis. Maybe they have like 15 Maseratis in their garage, and you want to find out about that, know about their past and know about where they come from. Maybe they came from nothing, and and they now they're a billionaire, so then you kind of understand where they're coming from. Usually it leads with a profile. It leads with an anecdote, which is some kind of story about them. Maybe, something about how they used to play basketball when they used to make every basket when they were two, something. Just something about the subject, a little bit quirky. And that's a hook to get people to want to pay attention. I'll post this article on Blackboard, but it's a really great article. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, anybody have any questions about this? Because I'm kind of rambling on and on. I don't want to lose my people here. Okay, has anybody had Mr. Let's see. Yeah, Mr. Harwick.
Harwood.
Hardwood. Why is my mind going Harwood? Harwood. Oh, you probably look at me like, Kat, what's wrong with you? Yeah, Mr. Hardwood. And feature articles or profile or anything like that. Has anybody had that in class before?
No, I don't think so. No. Oh, yeah, no, I'm taking it right now. I lied. I'm taking it right now.
Yeah, Courtney.
Wait, what
right
class
now.
you talking about?
The feature magazine.
The
writing
magazine,
thing.
right? Oh yeah, I'm taking
Yeah,
that.
I'm taking it
Yeah,
now.
we using now.
Or write a profile about somebody, something like that. So doing it, that's going to be, so that gets us around having to, write about a game. Okay, so we're going to write about an athlete. So I'm sharing a little bit about how to do that. Danny, you okay there? All right, thank you, dear. All right. So I'm going to post this article because I think it's a really good summary. So tie on the field and off the field together. Draw parallels between the athlete's life away from sports and his or her athletic career. Remember, the person that their subject is determines the type of competitor they are. So determine those things. Sometimes there are athletes who, athletes have a whole different way of thinking about life. There's athletes that are they have such determination. I mean, even the ones I've had in this class, they are very driven. They're very driven and very determined, and they have a hard work ethic. All of them that I've met, and so they're very determined to succeed. So even in other business ventures that they get involved with, or philanthropic type things that they get involved in, they're usually highly successful because of that trait. Stats are not as important in profiles. Obviously, every sports fan is going to want to hear statistics, but a feature goes beyond numbers and averages. Be descriptive about the person's game. Instead of Harding was one of the best rebounders in the league last season, averaging 11.8 rebounds a game, try Harding established himself as a force to be reckoned with under the glass of his sophomore season, leading his team in rebounds with 11.8 per game. Okay, now here's the catch. If you do this assignment, I want you to go find an athlete. We got athletes sitting on their butts right now, not playing games. So there's plenty of them around. You get my drift?
Yes.
So you want a profile of like their life story or just?
Tell me about them. I don't make. There's a lot. We don't.
Can it be a current athlete or it can be a former?
Anybody. If you can get.
Oh, great.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Bill Williams, the historian, past coach, on that list, grab him. Excellent article. Get him to talk about himself and his life and everything. And SC State. But who knows athletes right now that at school that aren't playing or doing anything but school. Who knows somebody. Guys, I need you to participate, guys. You need to show up. This is part of your grade. Come on now.
What are you talking about? We all here.
I don't see anybody. I see your ceiling. I see your, I see all of this. This is what I see,
I got a question.
Ma'am.
I thought at the beginning of the semester you said we was only gonna meet once a week. We've been meeting twice a week since class started.
Okay, we are meeting synchronously, as if we were in school. I feel like that's better for us as a group, as get into habit. Is there a problem with that, or?
I did remember you saying that too.
Okay, I did. But I feel like we're doing a little better by having twice a week for an hour. We don't meet as long. We only meet for an hour. So, okay, well, so everybody knows what to do then. I mean, like I said, I thought we could talk about if you would like to do a program. I just don't feel any energy today in here.
Yeah, we know what to do. Well, I know what to do.
Can it be from any school?
It could be any athlete, any school. I just do not want you to grab something off the internet and copy it. It needs to be a real live human being that you can have a conversation with. And there's no athletes around who are doing that. Now, next thing I wanted to discuss is, do you want to do maybe today's not the day to talk about it. Would you like to do a sports program show for our midterm or final project?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, matter of fact, yeah. Please do that. Cause we need that.
All right. What can talk among yourselves right now?
Before I agree to that, what do you mean by sports project?
Yeah, what does it entail?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is why we're here right now, because I want you guys to talk among yourselves and to collaborate, and I will facilitate.
No, what idea did you have in mind is what we asking.
I will facilitate. I will pitch some ideas. Okay, see, I'm treating you like professionals here.
Okay, now I'm asking because as far as cameras and all that, what do you have in mind?
Cell phones. We have cell phones.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Now, if you want, I could talk to Mr. Smith and see about getting cameras if you want to do that. But we
can't do that.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Okay, I didn't know. All right, so you can use cell phones. You can use your own personal cameras. You can do Zoom calls and record them if you want to do that. We could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be just like the BNN, like how they do it?
No.
Because I don't know how we're gonna do that.
Well, I'm pushing it out for you. Maybe you could go on the internet and do some research to see how other shows have been put together, and I want you to be talking among yourselves right now and in our meetings, because this is part of collaboration, and to think about what kind of show you could do, and if it's something we could live stream, like you see how Santiago Leon does his, or do some research. How are other people doing their sports shows? And what kind of, and like I said, whatever it is, I will facilitate it.
I think we need to maybe find an alternative, because you're talking about find ways, but even when us doing being there right now, it's not just okay, you want to do this for one project, but it's for us to take weeks to do it.
Yeah.
Perfect it. So that might not.
That's okay.